good for murder. It's not looking good for Steve in the first of a two-part Diagnosis Murder in half an hour. You're on BBC One.
They're not for you, Michelle.
I was only looking.
Morning.
I didn't expect to see you today.
I got paperwork to do.
You're supposed to be at the station.
I'm on call all day. Doesn't mean I have to hang around there, does it?
Well, aren't we the lucky ones? Are you going to tell him or shall I?
Tell me what.
Those are for you.
What are they?
Donuts.
Seriously? Where from?
Patient said to tell you they were homemade.
Looks like you've got an admirer, aren't you?
Well, I can't help it if I'm irresistible, can I?
Even if it is Mr. Mazzotta.
Oh, the Veruca guy.
Well, he didn't exactly make them with his feet, did he?
Yeah.
Where you going?
I've got work to do.
Oh, you little fake grunt, give us one!
I might have known it would be you.
I beg your pardon?
Moving in on somebody else's space. Why break the habit of a lifetime? Vivian? Vivian March? Fiona Brown. We went to nursing college together.
Of course.
I heard you'd made it to matron.
A long time ago now.
Oh, I knew you'd do well. You were always so dedicated, unlike me.
Did you stick with nursing?
I got married. Well, what are you doing now?
I have an appointment.
Oh, please, say you've got time for a chat. What time is your appointment?
In half an hour.
Perfect. I'm buying you a cup of tea.
You off out?
Yeah, they want me down to the station. It sounds urgent.
I bet it is.
What?
Something to do with an urge, anyway.
You know, you don't always have to say whatever pops into your head, Michelle.
I was only messing about.
Yeah, well, don't.
Right, well, we've got the tea. Where are the donuts?
Oh, she's hidden them.
Is it with men?
I know. They're either selfish or grumpy.
My ex was both.
It's 3 months ago.
I am sorry.
You've caught me on a good day. I'm feeling stronger today. Usually it takes me all morning just to leave the house.
It takes time to readjust, but it does get easier.
Have you lost someone too?
My mother a year ago, and a friend recently.
But it's so good to see you again. Such a stroke of luck. Where did you say you were working now?
The Mill Health Centre.
That's it. How wonderful.
Don't pretend I'm not here, Fiona. Agatha. Vivian.
She's come to spoil things. That's what she does. Just ignore her.
That's your solution to everything, isn't it? Ignore it and it will go away. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Not this time. I'm staying right here until we settle this.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just ignore her.
I will not be ignored. What you said out there was totally unacceptable.
I really must be going.
Oh, well, don't leave. Not on her account.
It's been lovely to see you both again, but I really do have an appointment.
Now see what you've done. You've embarrassed everyone.
Me? You're the one behaving like a child.
Hi. I was told to come in urgently. Is there someone in the cells?
There's quite a few, actually. There's a bunch of teenagers bunked off school to get blooded and started tearing chunks out of each other in the chippy. We think one of them's got concussion, but it's hard to tell the amount of booze in him.
I'll go and take a look.
Hey, don't even get a smile.
I've got a job to do, Inspector. That's the only reason I'm here.
Vivian? Vivian, oh, you must think very badly of me.
I hardly know you.
No, you must let me explain.
I'd really rather you didn't.
That woman brings out the absolute worst in me, but that's no excuse for embarrassing you. Please, forgive me. Let me buy you lunch to make up for it.
Shilling.
Oh, a walk then?
Look, I really have got a lot to do today.
Well, we can't part like this. Please. For old time's sake.
Well, you guys tell me what all this is about, or do I have to guess?
You're unbelievable.
Jimmy, I don't know what's going on.
I don't appreciate being played for a fool.
What?
You lied to me.
What are you talking about? When have I lied to you?
You still don't know, do you? I saw you kissing him. I came to surprise you on Friday. Turns out the surprise was mine.
There's a different side to Agatha, believe me.
What happened between you two?
My husband, Richard, was her brother.
Ah, so she's grieving too.
She missed going to his funeral to go on holiday. What does that tell you? Now she's circling like a vulture to get her hands on my house.
The house? How's that possible?
Well, years ago, we changed it to tenants in common. Richard said it was for tax reasons, and he always handled that side of things. I didn't think to question it.
What does that mean?
My solicitor had to explain it. It means we each owned a separate half of the house. Richard knew he was dying. He changed his will to give his half to Agatha.
But why?
I wish I knew. Things had broken down between me and her long before he got sick.
So, you two really do have things to settle?
Oh, there's nothing to settle. The only way she's stepping foot inside my house is over my dead body.
So, I didn't tell you every detail of my life. It doesn't make me a liar.
You made out you were single and you know it.
Well, I didn't think it mattered. Look, things are really complicated between me and Alistair. I didn't want to go into it, not for a harmless flirt.
Eva, we slept together.
Yeah, and I'm glad we did, but it was a one-off. It didn't mean anything.
Well, it meant something to me. I thought it did to you too.
Sorry, you got the wrong idea.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, look, Jimmy, can we talk about this?
What's the point?
What are you doing tomorrow night?
Fiona.
There's this gorgeous little art centre at the end of my street that's teaching salsa dancing. I'd be too scared to go on my own.
Fiona. It's been a real pleasure seeing you. It really has, but it must end there. I'm just not ready to launch headlong into a friendship just now. We're virtual strangers.
People can get to know each other.
Only if they both want to.
Oh, I see.
Look, it's clear that you need real companionship at the moment. And I'm just not the person to provide it. That's my fault, not yours.
Please, Vivian, don't try and patronise me on top of everything else. I shouldn't have imposed on your time.
That's not what I meant.
That's exactly what you meant. But you don't have to worry, you won't be hearing from me again. You know, I'd have thought you, of all people, would know what it means to be lonely.
Arch? Could you go and check if you've got any more bandages? We're running kind of low here.
Yeah. How many bandages? Oi!
I can't believe you've gone and scoffed them all.
Well, wasn't that many.
There were loads. How greedy does that make you?
You're the one who's trying to steal them.
Well, yeah, one may be. Anyway, if I was you, I'd be more worried about all those extra calories.
What? Hey, I bike every day, all right? I'll burn off in no time.
If you say so. Just remember, lycra and love handles don't mix.
You haven't changed a bit.
Neither have you.
I had no idea you stayed in touch with Fiona.
It was a chance meeting.
And then I came along and spoilt it. I'm so sorry. Can I at least offer you a lift?
Jimmy, would you talk to me?
I haven't got time for this.
Don't be like this.
Look, I've got a kid in the cells who's losing it. I'd guess he needs me more than you do.
Well, when then?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Fine. Well, this is better. Let's just keep it strictly professional between us, like it should have been from the start. Milligan, what are you doing hovering around? Can't you see we're in the middle of something?
More like the end of something.
Milligan, come here. I hear the Porter case suspect's still here. He should have been released over an hour ago. Make yourself busy. Go and get rid of him.
When he died, I turned to people I thought were my friends. Well, they rallied round when they first heard the news, of course, but after a few weeks, they get this look in their eyes when I talked about him. And I knew I was on my own. I suppose I should have learnt that a long time ago. Even best friends abandon you when you need them the most.
Is that what happened? Fiona abandoned you?
What did she tell you?
She told me about the house.
Oh, the house. Did she say I didn't go to the funeral?
Yes.
I just couldn't. The thought of standing there all alone. She has a huge family, you know. They would have surrounded her, whispering, staring. Richard was all I had.
Is that why you went away?
It seemed a better way to mourn him. It was terrifying and humbling being alone out there with all that beauty. And I came to a decision.
About what?
About that blasted house.
Who ate all the pies? Who ate all the pies? You fat!
Yeah, hilarious.
That won't cancel it out, you know. The damage is already done.
I told you. I'm not fussed. I can eat what I like because I cycle.
So is that why you're carrying that extra tyre with you?
I bet you can pinch more than an inch.
Excuse me? These are girly curves. What's your excuse? But even Joe's fitter than you are.
Joe? Joe's old, Michelle. Of course I'm fitter than he is. He probably runs out of puff just climbing out of bed in the morning.
Really? Yeah, I don't think I've been out of puff since the 70s.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean...
I think it's pretty clear what you meant. You assume that because you're a few years younger than me...
Well, quite a few, really.
You assume that that makes you fitter.
Well, yeah, I do, actually.
Right. Well, there's only one way to prove that you're wrong.
For whatever reason, Richard must have wanted me to have it. Think about it. He left her all his money, all his possessions, but only half the house. Why?
Has it occurred to you that he might have done it so that you'd be forced to deal with one another? I mean, it does make sense. Here were the two most important people in his life, and they fell out. Two people who used to be inseparable.
But this has just made things worse.
Only because Fiona thinks you want to keep it. Your first instinct was to give it back. Richard would have known that.
So you're saying I should do it? To bring about a reconciliation?
Only if you want to.
I want to kill her sometimes. But I do miss her. Let's do it. A grand gesture.
Oh, so you want a contest?
Yeah, see who's the fittest.
Between you and me?
Unless you're frightened of being humiliated by an old man.
No, I just don't want any hard feelings when you're showing up in front of everybody.
OK, boys, put your rulers away for 1 minute. I need to sort out what kind of competition first.
How about a race?
Sprint or cross country?
Cross country's better for testing stamina.
I've got it. We can make it official. There's a kids' charity one in the park on Friday.
That'll sort out the men from the boys.
Fiona, we know you're in there.
I've got nothing to say to either of you.
You don't have to say anything. We just want you to listen.
I'm not interested. Just go away.
Whether you like it or not, this house belongs to Agatha as well. You have to respect your husband's wishes. Now, Agatha's come here with a solution I think you'll appreciate. But we're not going to conduct this whole conversation through the letterbox.
Thank you. So, I see you two are the best of friends. I thought you didn't have room in your life for anyone, or does that just apply to me?
What I said this morning was unkind, and I'm sorry if I hurt you. But I've come here to help, for old time's sake.
Well, if you'd wanted to help, you wouldn't have brought her.
I am in the room, you know, Fiona. You can look at me. I'm here.
It's a pity we couldn't say that at your brother's funeral.
You wouldn't have wanted me there. You or the rest of your clan.
Ladies, let's not go into that now. The way a person chooses to grieve is a private matter. There's no right or wrong way. Now, the reason Agatha's come to see you is to settle the matter of the house. So, Fiona, are you prepared to let her speak?
You and I both love Richard. If nothing else, can we at least say we have that in common? Now, it's important you know, it was as much of a shock to me as it was you when they read out the will. I had nothing at all to do with his decision. I didn't want anything. Not the house or anything in it. In fact, I loathe the idea of profiting from someone's death. I always have. What Richard and I had was worth so much more than material things. I have my memories of him, and that's all I need. So, what I'm saying is this. You can have it. I don't want any money for my half. The house is all yours.
Thank you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like you to leave.
What?
You heard me?
Fiona, I give you your house back, and you think you can just throw me out of it?
Well, it's my house now, isn't it?
No. I've changed my mind. Sorry.
You can't do that.
Well, I just did. In fact, I'd like you to leave my side of the house, please. Go on.
It's too late. You made a verbal agreement, and we have a witness.
Well, that's lucky for you, isn't it? Because it's the only thing stopping me strangling you.
Never mind sorry. When are you going to start using your head? The Porter case is an ongoing investigation. Every piece of evidence is vital. To release a suspect without taking his DNA, it's unacceptable, Milligan. And it makes my job 10 times harder than it already is.
The Porter case, didn't you tell him to release the suspect?
This doesn't concern you.
No, hold on a minute. I was there, and you ordered him to let him go immediately. You didn't say anything about taking DNA.
PC Milligan, you're excused. How dare you drag your wounded ego into this?
Excuse me?
Whatever's gone on between us, that's no excuse to contradict me in front of my subordinates.
Oh, don't give me that. You're the one bringing your personal issues to work and taking them out on your colleagues. It's unfair and it's unprofessional. Eva!
When Richard came along, someone was looking at me for once. Me!
Oh, you were the middle child in your family, always overlooked. If you feel invisible, I sympathise. I really do. But it's been 50 years, Fiona. Get over it.
I don't have to listen to this.
Oh, you'll listen. The problem with you is that you think love has to be divided up. The more other people get, the less there is for you. Well, it doesn't work that way.
Don't you dare lecture me about love. What would you know about it? You ran away from every man who took an interest in you. And, what's worse, you killed your own child.
I did not murder a child. There was no child. I chose not to have it.
It was a life. A precious life. And you killed it.
How long are you going to pretend it's about moral outrage when we both know this is about you? It's not my fault you couldn't conceive, Fiona. Unlike you, I never found the right person to settle down with. And I wasn't about to give up everything to have a baby on my own. There are enough unwanted children in the world. I was one of them, remember? I wanted a career.
Oh, some career. Destroying life instead of saving it. How do you sleep at night?
Do you know why I decided to work in an abortion clinic? Why I put up with people like you spitting at me in the street? Because I know what it's like to go through one on my own.
Well, I couldn't go with you that day. You should never have asked me.
You were my best friend. Who else was I going to ask?
I think if anything is going to be resolved today, you have to put the past where it belongs. Now, I'm here to help you come to an agreement about the house. So let's focus on that, shall we? I think there's far too much resentment between you to share it.
Share it? I don't think so.
Oh, don't flatter yourself. Who says I'd be interested?
But it seems unfair that Agatha should leave empty-handed.
Well, she doesn't want anything. She said so.
And you want to keep the money, the house, everything?
No.
And you don't want any reminders of your brother? None of the books that he read, the photos he took? What I'm proposing is this. That Agatha releases her claim on the house in exchange for some of the things that remind her of Richard.
That seems fair. But who decides what she can take?
That'll be between the two of you. You'll have to find a way of putting your differences aside. Can you do that?
I'm sorry.
No, you were right to defend him.
Oh, I was still angry about it. I should have handled it differently.
Look, it's not your fault, okay? It's mine. I'm in a right mess of things.
Talk to me.
You don't want to hear about it.
Well, you've already told me you're with someone. I might as well know the details.
Okay. Been with Alistair for about 10 years. We live together. We get on. He's a good man.
So you said it was complicated.
It is complicated.
Why?
Why do you think?
Oh, that's me. Ah! At about 4 or 5.
Well, it's getting late. We should arrange a time to go through things properly.
Yes, of course. Well, I've got a lot going on at the moment, so I'll have to let you know when I've got a free weekend.
Oh, me too. I can't promise to be in when you call, but feel free to leave a message.
Of course you'll be in, Fiona. You're utterly lonely.
What? Well, don't be ridiculous. I've plenty of friends.
Well, you wanted me to take you salsa dancing. And I don't know what you're laughing at. Your friends deserted you at the first sign of trouble.
Well, I'm free this weekend. If you want to go through more of the pictures.
Oh, great. Unless... do you have to be anywhere right now? I've got a bottle of wine in the fridge.
I can stay.
Well, I must be on my way.
Are you sure? You're welcome to stay.
Thank you, but I've got things to do.
Goodbye, Vivian.
Thank you, Vivian, for everything.
Are you going to leave him?
I don't know. No, I can't leave him.
Do you love him?
I used to.
That's not what I asked.
Yeah, I do still love him. I just don't feel the same, you know. I've lost that feeling that I used to have, you know, like with us the other night. I can't do this, Jimmy. I'm talking about 10 years of my life here. I can't just throw it all away over...
Meaningless sex?
I shouldn't have said that. You know you mean more to me than that. I've just got too much to lose.
I understand. I just wish you'd been honest with me.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I mean, I couldn't bear it if we couldn't still be friends.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Do you mean that?
Of course I do.
What about the shops? Are you still taking me? Tom?
Once you've had a seizure, you have to stop driving.
I'll lose my living without my licence.
I don't think you're taking this race with Archie seriously enough.
I just don't want it all to become too competitive.
You're the driver, aren't you?
Eva, is there something you wanted?
And what could I possibly want?
You tell me.
Ian's not happy. Stephen's left the clinic. EastEnders on BBC1. 8, but next today, dodgy cops planning a robbery in Diagnosis Murder.